Hi everyone. Is your Chihuahua afraid of going to the vet? Is he terrified? How about nail trims? Does he take to his nail trims real easily, or does it scare him? Well, either way, I have the remedy. Speaking of remedy, my remedy had the same fears and now she doesn't. So you want to know how I did it? Then keep watching and I'll tell you how. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Chi-Chi's and Me Chihuahua Reality. I'm Linda. I am a professional blogger, an author, but most of all, I am mom to 3 beautiful Chihuahuas and a cat named Lucy. I have over 20 years experience raising and training Chihuahuas, and I want to help you and your Chihuahua live the best life ever together. Today, I'm going to tell you about conditioning training, what it is, and I'm going to take you step by step how to do it. Conditioning training can help you to help your Chihuahua to overcome any fears that he or she might have. Let's get right into it. What is conditioning training? Conditioning training simply means to associate one thing with another. If you have a Chihuahua that is afraid of something, you can use conditioning training to change his perception or his association of one thing that he's afraid of to something pleasant. For instance, suppose you have a Chihuahua who has never been on a car ride before, and you get your car keys out, and that Chihuahua has no reaction whatsoever. However, if you have a Chihuahua who's been on car rides and loves his car rides, as soon as you get those car keys out, he's going to get excited. That's because he associates your car keys with something fun, something pleasant. That is how you can use conditioning training. You can use conditioning training to help your Chihuahua in all different situations. Is he afraid of nail trims? Afraid to go to the vet? Is he afraid of baths? You can use conditioning training in all of these situations. Conditioning training often happens with no effort on our part whatsoever. Like I mentioned before, another example is leash. Suppose you get your Chihuahua's leash out. Does he get excited every time? That's because he loves his walks and he looks forward to them. It can happen naturally on its own without any effort from you, or it can be a powerful tool to help you to train your Chihuahua to enjoy the experiences that he now hates. Conditioning is not actual training, as in traditional training methods. Those are used for things like, you use cues for that, like to help your dog learn to sit, or to lie down, or to even change a behavior such as making your Chihuahua stop jumping on people. Conditioning training involves changing your Chihuahua's feelings or his emotional reaction to a person, place, or thing. It shifts his emotions from one of fright to one of pleasant experience. I'm going to show you step by step how conditioning training works. And as an example, I'm going to use nail trimming. Is your Chihuahua afraid of nail trimming? I'm going to show you step by step by using conditioning training how you can change your Chihuahua's perception from being afraid of nail trims to, well, he may not exactly love them, but he will accept them and tolerate them calmly and without resistance. First, I'd like to know from you, have you ever used conditioning training without even realizing it now that you know basically what it is? Does your Chihuahua get excited when you get the leash out or the car keys? Just simply comment yes below and let me know. Pebbles here is going to help me to demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're trying to get your Chihuahua used to nail clippings, the first thing you do, you take it step by step. First thing you do is you get the clippers out, but you just set them close by where your dog can see them, and then you praise them and you give them treats And when your dog remains calm while you do that, you go to the next step. Step 2, you leave the clippers where they are and where your dog can see them, and you start just, messing with the paws, getting them used to you are touching the paws and the nails. You kind of push the hair back. Just mess with the nails and make sure that they're calm while you do that. You praise them, you give them treats. For the next step, you take the clippers and you just hold them close, like this. And you praise, and you pet, and you give them treats. See, Pebbles is not afraid of the clippers, so I'm not going to treat her right now. But you get the idea. You give her treats, and you praise her while you're holding the clippers close by. The next step, all you do is hold the clippers onto her paw. Just hold the clippers on the paw. I don't know how well you can see this, but you just hold them on her paw with one hand. With the other hand, you give her treats, you praise her, you tell her what a good girl she is. If your dog is still calm, the next step you go to is you touch like this, like you're going to cut, just like this. But you don't really cut it. You just kind of lay it on top like this. And you praise her and you give her treats. And you give her lots of loving and tell her what a good girl she is. The next step is you just simply take a tiny bit off, right off the top. You just take a tiny bit off the top tip of the nail, and you just do one nail, and that's it for that day. Pebbles is such a good little helper. So I think you get the idea. You just take it step by step, and each step you praise her and give her pleasant experiences while you do each step. And you take this a little at a time. Don't try to do all of this in one day. You take it a little at a time, and like I said, the last step, you just clip off a tip of one nail. And then the next day you do it again, and you do another nail until your dog is calm each and every time. And then you can trim off, you can do all the nails. But it's step by step, little by little. But eventually your Chihuahua will change their perception. They may never love having their nails trimmed, but they will no longer get anxious and fearful every time you get the clippers out. They will begin to tolerate it and do it without resistance, which is what you want, because then it makes it more tolerable for both of you. And it's a good idea to keep reinforcing this. Get the clippers out whenever you do something fun, something that your Chihuahua finds fun. For instance, when you begin to play a game, or you're going to go for a walk, get the clippers out so that he continues to associate those clippers with fun things and pleasant things. You can use conditioning training to help your Chihuahua overcome just about any fear he or she may have. The great thing about this is you don't have to know why he is afraid. For instance, if you adopt or rescue an adult Chihuahua, he may be afraid of a lot of things and you have no idea why. You don't have to know why. All you need to know is what they are afraid of. Is your Chihuahua terrified every time you take him to the vet? That's a terrible thing. It makes it extremely difficult on you, difficult on your Chihuahua, difficult for the staff and the veterinarian. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can use conditioning training in the same way. It may take a little longer, but you can still use conditioning training to change your dog's perception of going to the vet. And you do the same thing step by step, only with being afraid of going to the vet. The first step would be driving to the vet and sitting in the parking lot. Give your dog treats. Believe me, that dog knows where he's at. He knows the smells, the sounds, so on. He knows he's at the vet, even if it's a vet he's never been to before. So you just sit in the parking lot and you give him treats and you praise him and you go home. The next step would be to get out of the car and just stand next to the car. And there may be, dogs outside. They still know where they're at, and this is when they're going to start really getting a little anxious. But you just stand there by the car and you give them treats and you praise them, and then you get back in the car. You do that 2 or 3 times and then you go home. Eventually your Chihuahua will perceive that just because you're going to the vet doesn't mean he's going to get a unpleasant experience. Doesn't mean he's going to get a shot or something really terrifying happen to him. Conditioning takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. So you have to be willing to put that in order to help your Chihuahua to overcome these fears. How long it will take depends on how ingrained the fear is. For instance, as I think I said earlier, to help your Chihuahua to overcome his fear of the vet is going to take much longer than to help him overcome his fear of getting his nails trimmed. But the reward is so worth it, both for you and your dog. Watching your dog overcome an ingrained fear and becoming a happier, more confident dog is so worth all the effort and the time and the consistency that it took to help your Chihuahua overcome those fears. So I want to know, what is your Chihuahua afraid of? Put it in the comments and let me know. And if there's any way I can help you to use conditioning training to help your Chihuahua, let me know. You have a question, put it in the comments. Is there a video that you would like to see in the future? Then please put it in the comments, because I want to give you videos that you want to see. And I don't know unless you tell me, so please put it in the comments and let me know. Until I see you guys right back here next time, be sure and subscribe, hit the bell, and hey, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you think you know someone that might enjoy it, then please share it with them. And until I see you here next time, bye.